Hello, and welcome to Making Bread with Hannah. This is your host, Hannah. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade bread. This is for you, Eugen. So, first, the ingredients you'll need. You're going to need bread flour, 6 and a quarter cups plus a little extra. You're going to need yeast, 2 and a quarter teaspoons of yeast, or if you have the packets of yeast, one packet of yeast. Sugar, just get yourself some sugar. You'll use that a couple of times. Salt, warm water, and canola oil. Okay, so you want to take your sugar and your yeast and mix it together in this bowl, and then we're going to add 2 and a quarter cups of warm water. Alright, so now just mix that up till it's kind of dissolved. You want to dissolve the yeast and sugar into the warm water, and then you're going to let it stand while you put the rest of your stuff together. Let the yeast activate and get some bubbles rising to the top, aside from the bubbles you're creating right now. That's 2 and a quarter teaspoons of yeast plus a half teaspoon of sugar. Mix it up dry, add in 2 and a quarter cups warm water, and dissolve it all together and let it sit till bubbles rise. Now here we've got 3 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 tablespoon of salt. And we're just gonna, mix that all in, get it all nice and mixed up in here. Right, now that we've got that all mixed up, we're gonna combine our wet and dry ingredients. Woo-hoo. And then mix that all together until it is smooth. Okay, so now that it's all pretty smooth and mixed together, we're gonna add in our other 3 and a quarter cups of flour, about a half cup at a time, because it gets difficult. So just put some on in there and mix. And do that until you've combined the rest of your flour with your mixture. So add another half cup and mix again. Keep going until you got it all worked in. Alright, so now that you have your dough basically all worked up, you add 2 tablespoons of canola oil. The original recipe says for you to add this along when you add your yeast and water. But I found I prefer to add it to the dough after. So now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of this and work it in. So I just put the oil on here. I'm going to knead it in, and then I'm going to knead this for 8 to 10 minutes. Sometimes I'm a little lazy and just do 4 to 5. But just get it till your bread is nice and elasticy, and you can just pull it apart. If it's too sticky, add more flour to the mixture till it doesn't really stick to your hands anymore, and you've got a nice dough ball. It's a little difficult to show the kneading process since I gotta hold the phone with one hand, but just kind of just work it. That's not quite how it goes, but you can figure it out. Anyway, just get it till it's nice and like that. Not necessarily making that sound. Okay, keep going. Alright, now you're going to want to get yourself another clean bowl and put some oil in it and just coat the oil all around the surface. Put your dough into that bowl, flip it over so it gets oil on the top and bottom. Maybe put a little extra oil on the top if you want it to. You're just trying to get it to not stick to the sides of the pan or the bowl while it's rising. So now you're gonna cover this and let it sit in a warm spot for about an hour, hour and a half until it doubles in size. See you then. Alrighty, it's been about an hour and a half, so let's go check on the size of our bread. Okay, so our dough has about doubled in size, which is good. And so now you're gonna wanna get your bread pan, well, 2 of them. I just have one of this kind, so I got this one too. Put some oil in it, put it all around the bottom and the sides because you don't want the bread to stick to anything. And now you're gonna divide this in half and stick it in your pans. The dough's now in the pans, and I put a little bit of oil on top, just a little bit, and spread it around so that it doesn't stick to the covering when it's covered because it's gonna rise again. So now we're gonna cover these up and let them sit for another hour and a half. Hour to hour and a half till they double up in size and fill out all the spaces. All right, let's check back with our bread and see how it's looking. All right, it's been about an hour, a little over an hour, so the bread's filled out nicely. And I'm going to set the oven for 190 Celsius, 375 Fahrenheit. Excuse the mess, I had a pie explode. I gotta clean it. Alright, so I'm gonna preheat it and stick it on in. Just put the bread in the oven and we're gonna cook it for about 30 to 35 minutes till it's golden brown and sounds hollow when you tap it with a knife. So I'll see you then. So when your bread is nice and golden brown and makes a hollow sound like this, then you know it's done. So now just take it out of the pan and let it cool, and then it is ready to eat. Enjoy!